Welcome to part 2 of my Color Values series. I'm Chris Carter. This series on Skillshare is an abbreviated version of a much longer and more in-depth course on color value. Color value is an essential skill to master and a very difficult one to comprehend. I believe that the experiments that are presented for you in this mini-series can provide you with the basic skills that will put you on a path to mastery of color value and dramatically improve your drawings and paintings, and that you will step into an even more joyful world of playing with color. In part 1 of the series, we created landscapes in grayscale using black, white, and gray paper. In this class, part 2 of the series, we will first determine where on the grayscale our black, white, and gray paper are, and our colored paper, our yellow, orange, red, violet, blue, and green. And based on that, we will create a grayscale landscape, not looking at a photograph, just whatever we want to create. And we will recreate that in color based on what we've determined our grayscale values to be. And from that point, we will just start to play with the color shapes and see what happens. We're going to convert whatever landscapes we create with the color shapes, we are going to convert those to black and white and just see what our eyes starts to notice and our brain starts to understand. We will see the impact that our choices make on the design of our collages. It is the design of a piece of work that will bring your attention to it when viewed from across the room. This is important. This is a very, very important skill to master. As an artist, you want people to notice your work, the work you create. That is, if you create art and present it to the public. I mean, if you don't ever present it to the public, it's fine. It's just an expression of your experience and you don't ever have to show it to anyone. But if you do hang it on a wall, you're saying, look at me. And in order for people to look at it, their attention needs to be grabbed by it. And that's where design comes in. Design is what brings the viewer to your piece, and then all of your technical skill in application and composition, drawing, color, all of those things come into play. But first, someone has to look at it. And understanding color value is the core, is the foundation to grabbing people's attention. And it can be a subtle call or it can be a loud call. It doesn't matter which. It's up to you. But it has to be a call. In part 3 of this course, the focus will be more on determining the design that you want for your piece and then playfully putting the color into that. Now, when I was much younger, most of the museum catalogs and the art books were in black and white. There were a few color plates. We called them color plates, because color printing was very expensive. And I was puzzled because sometimes I didn't even recognize a painting that I had seen in person in a museum. When I saw it in black and white, it didn't look the same to me. And I thought, that's really odd. It's just a really terrible photograph of it. And it was many years before I realized that the reason I didn't feel the same way about it when it was in black and white was because I had been deceived by the color in the painting, and I had not seen the real design of the painting. I had not seen the black and white version of it, the value version of it. And this came to mind when I ran into trouble in my paintings. And I thought, I don't know what to do with it. It's not working. I know it's not working, but what's the problem? So I would take a photograph of it. And I was doing black and white photography at the time, so I was able to take a photograph and then print it in black and white. It was kind of a tedious process, but I was able to do that. And then I saw immediately what was wrong with the painting. The value was wrong. So I adjusted the value, and I still didn't understand color very well, so I didn't know what I could choose. But I was able to move forward with the painting. And then later, much later, when I finally was understanding color and then put the pieces together with understanding color and understanding color value, it was incredible, because then I could determine the value I needed, decide whether it needed to be a warm or cool color, and then just plop in a color that I liked that worked with my color scheme. And bang, the piece was so much stronger. And that's what I'm hoping for you. My hope for you is that you get a grasp on how important it is to understand color value and how the doors are flung wide open when it comes to creating color and imaginative color based on the value of it. And for this class, we're working strictly with saturated color. In part 3, in the next class, we will be working with paint, and we will be working with manipulating the hues a bit more.